All right, guys. So this right here is going to be our general activation series for guys who are in the gym trying to get a nice little warm up in. So we're going to have basically the first general activation phase, and then we're going to have a part two right here. It's going to be with this video though, where it's just going to be basically if we're doing upper body that day or if we're doing lower body that day. Okay. So basically, the general activation phase here's what it's going to work. If you have a treadmill, a nice little 3 minute slow paced walk to get some blood flow would work. Or if you're someone who just walk into the gym, that's plenty fine. Just something kind of get some blood flow rolling. If you don't have a treadmill, like I said, and you don't have a chance to get a nice little walk in, it's completely okay to skip this part. I usually skip it because I think this whole entire activation series, it's going to be plenty to get enough blood flow getting into the muscles before we start lifting. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do body weighted squats. We're going to do this for 10 to 15 reps. The most important thing here, now if you're an older guy, you're already probably going to do body weighted squats, but if you're someone who's younger and your body isn't really exactly cooperating correctly with yourself, right? As you squat down, we want to have our feet slightly outward. We want to make sure our knees aren't caving in. We want to make sure as we are going squatting down here like this, we're living our hands up in the air like this, and we don't want our heels to come off the ground. So we're doing this body weight squat, right? A lot of you younger guys are going to want to kind of come off the heels. Now, if you don't have enough mobility there, which some of y'all may not, you need to go into the static stretching and start working on that, and also doing the rolling out series. But let's say you have enough, it should look just like this here. Hands down by our side, here just like this, and then all the way back up. We're going to do 15 of those, 10 to 15. Next thing we're going to have is we're going to have leg swings backwards and forwards each leg for 10 reps each, and then leg swings side to the side. So here's the way it works. You're really just going to come here just like this, and we're just swinging it back and forth just like this. It's not anything too crazy. There and back is one time. So 1, 2, and etc. I'm going to do 10 each leg. For side to side, right? Same thing. We're going to go 10 this way. So 1, 2. And we're going to do 10. We're going to do 10 each leg. Once we get done doing that, we're going to go to arm circles forwards and backwards. We're going to go 10 smalls forward like this. Okay. Then we'll go 10 small backwards like this. Okay. Then we'll go much bigger here like this. We'll go 10 forward and we'll go 10 backwards. The last thing that's on there, we have back slaps and Spider-Man grabs is what I call them. Back slaps is pretty simple. Really just slapping your back like this, opening up, getting some blood flow in. If you notice, I'm going over and under. So over with their left, under with their left. Or if you're right-handed, you can think about it like that, but that's the simplest way I can put it to you. Okay, so over, under. Okay. Once we get done doing that for 10 reps, where they're going to come here and do the Spider-Man grabs, you've probably done them before. They look like arm swings just like this. Okay. You're just going to come here just like this. We're going to go 10 each arm, just like that. Okay. That right there is the general activation phase. Okay, like I said, these warm-ups should not take very long at all. Like this should probably take maybe maximum 3 minutes. The rest of it should probably take an extra additional 2 minutes. Okay, if you were doing a lower body that day, okay, we're going to do a barbell squat for roughly 10 reps, and then we're going to do RDLs for 10 reps. Okay, so for the back squat here, now I know a lot of y'all think this is really simple, but this is a lot for the younger guys or for guys who really actually don't know how to squat. All we're going to do here, we're going to get this bar. You can either have it a high bar or you can have it a low bar. Now, for me personally, I prefer high bar, but it's a preference to what you want. Okay, what we're going to do here, have our feet wide like we just talked about earlier. And all we're going to do from here is we're going to squat. Right as we're squatting, okay, we're going to try to hold our breath to hold our thoracic and our lower spine. So here, squat all the way down like this, all the way back up. And we're going to do about 10 reps, okay? The most important thing, like I said, make sure heels don't come up, okay? If you have long femurs, like I do, right, it's okay to go way down to the ground. If you have short femurs, it's okay to go way down the ground. We just don't want to make sure when we're squatting, though, right, we don't want to sit here and squat, right, and then curve our back like this, where our hips are pushing us back and we're like leaning forward, right? We want to be nice stacked like this and coming straight up. Now, for the RDLs, okay, this is not your typical stiff leg RDL. This is a RDL with a slight bend, okay? All we're doing here We're going to have our feet slightly shoulder width apart. We're going to come here just like this. And all we're doing from here is we're going to drag this bar down our leg, push your hips back, just like this. We're going to feel a nice little stretch in hamstring. Come up just like this, okay? You're going to do 10 reps of that. So feet slightly width, shoulder width apart. Hold your breath just a little bit. And then all the way back up, okay? Now, once we get done doing that, we're then going to move on to basically, that's for lower body. If we have upper body, once you do the general activation series phase before, this is not included, this is only for lower body, right? You're going to do the very first step that I showed you in the very beginning of the video. Then you either go do a bench press, which I'll have a bench press video on about it. But let's say you're kind of in a rush, you can do an overhead press. But just be careful with the shoulder, and we're going to talk about here in a second, okay? And then the other thing we're going to do is a bent over row. So I'm going to show you the overhead press, okay? All you're going to do here, guys, we're going to get it just slightly past shoulder width apart. We're going to flip it up here just like this. And all we're doing from here is we're coming here just like this and barely swinging our head through. So just pressing up, slight bend in our legs, just like that, okay? If you're doing a bent over row, so the same position as the RDL, where we're having a slight little bend like this, our back needs to be straight, and we're having our hands a little bit wider than shoulder width apart, and we're just pulling it right below our pec, okay? And we're going to do those for 10 reps each as well. If you're curious, we want to pull it to right here. That should wrap up everything for basically the warm-up series for going and lifting to the gym. Look, guys, it's pretty simple. If you're not warming up before lifting, as an athlete especially, you're going to get hurt down the road. Your risk of injury is going to especially increase, especially the days that you plan to go heavier lifting, especially doing things that are going to require a lot more explosive movement, or things that are going to like basically compress the body. So squat would be one of them, or even something like bench press where it's compressing the shoulders back. So make sure we have this nice little activation series going. Take it nice and easy, of course. Get yourself loose. And if you're still not loose by the end of this activation series, you can repeat the process again, or we can do more reps on the stuff like for lower body, for like the bar, or upper body for the bar stuff.